Warm greetings once again. This is Mr. Masachungo. Today I want to help you on completing this table. I think you know this topic, sales forecasting. Okay, sales forecasting. So this is Sir Jef. I think I want to help the A-levels who are struggling on completing this diagram. So usually in your 9609, they usually bring a sales forecast where they expect you to calculate usually the trend, which is the what do you call it, the moving average. Then they want you to also to calculate what we call the seasonal variation, and then the average seasonal variation. So please, can you take your pen and your paper, then I want to help you. So this is a 4-point moving average. Why? You can see it's Q1, Q2, Q3, 4. It starts again, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So this is a 4-point moving average. Okay, so this one is the moving average in simple terms. This is the moving what? We call it the moving average. So let me just like this. Okay, so let's see how they calculate this one. Okay, let me teach you the shorter way. Okay, if you want to calculate this figure, I think you can actually see you're supposed to add 1074 plus 1634. Is that clear? You divide the answer by 8. Okay, but the question again is, how do you get these figures? Okay, you can actually see for you to get this figure, you're supposed to add all the 4 figures and get the total. So this one, it means they added from this point 1 to Q2, Q3, Q4. That's how they got this total. Then for this one, I think you can actually follow. They left it's a 4-point moving average, so we need to keep 4 figures. So in this case, we are going to say we are in this line. Okay, I think you can actually see the line where we are. Let me try to get a pen this side, maybe to help. Or this, okay. You can maybe, let me get something. Maybe this one. Okay, so you can actually see when we want to get the figure, it's not functioning. It's fine. Let me, if you want to get this figure, the total, it means you are supposed to add 4 numbers from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are going to add the sum of 360 plus 344 plus 234 plus 600. I think you can actually see, if I highlight here, you can see where they are highlighting. Those are the figures that we are going to add. Okay, that's the total. Then for here, I think you can actually see, it means again, you are supposed to add this figure, 440, 234, 600, then 8. I think it's clear. So these are the totals. So I think the totals, it's not a problem, right? Totals, not a problem. Right. Then what you're supposed to do to get this figure, the moving average. Okay, so you skip on the trend. I want you to skip 2 lines. Just skip this one. Okay, so just put a 0. Then put a 0. I will explain this one in the next video. So it's a 4-point moving average. Just leave 2 blank lines. Okay, explain the reasons. Leave here. Then also you leave this one. Okay, so just 0 and 0 on this one. The question is, how do we get this one? Okay, they might put X on this one. So a simple way is you first complete the totals column. Okay, you complete the totals column, then you add the first 2, just a cell behind this one, below this one. Okay, divide by 8. But this might be long in the exam. Let me give you the shortcut. Okay, you are here. You want to get this 338. So I've devised a simple method. You get into this same cell. You want to get, this is a 338.5. You get into this same cell. Okay, you move from here, get to this cell. Multiply this one by 2. Multiply this one by 2. So we are saying in this cell, multiply this one by 2, 440 times 2. Then multiply this one by 2, 360 times 2. Then just below that again, the number below this one, multiply by 2. Okay? It means for these figures to be 8, you are left with 2 more figures. So you just add these ones. So let me come again. I want to get this figure, right? So let's get to this one. So we're in this same cell. Okay, I think you can actually see. Let me highlight this one. I want to highlight the figures that we are multiplying by 2. Okay, so we're saying in this same cell above, okay, above this one, this is 360. So we are multiplying 340. We want to get this. Remember, we want to get this figure. All right, a simple way where I said you add these 2, then you divide by 8. You get this one. But I want to give you a shortcut, a simpler way of getting that one. It's simple. You say 440. The number, we are saying this is the cell, right? The number, the 440, the current cell multiplied by 2, the cell above multiplied by 2, the cell below multiplied by 2. Okay, so in this case, we're saying what is above, we are going to say 360. Can you get your calculator? Above, let's start with the initial one. You say 440 times 2. What do you get? You get 880 plus, you multiply this one by 2 above, 360 times what? 2 add to that one, you get 1,600. Add again, say plus, this one times 2, 234 times 2 added to the other figure. We are now at 2,000. We are now at 2,068. Then just above this one, there's 40, add 40 to that number. Then just below the one that we multiply by 2, the 600, just add 600. You get a total of 2,708. Divide that one by 8. You will see that we get the same figure. All right, let me come again. I said if you want to get this one, the simpler way I told you, you first complete this total section. Then you divide the answer by 8. It's easy, right? You add 1074 plus 1634. Then you divide the answer by 8. But in an examination, you might be under pressure. So let me show you a shortcut. We are saying we want to get this 338.5. So you go to this actual cells, and this is our actual cells. Remember, our trend is this one. Actual cells are moving to the left. You can see where I've highlighted this one. Okay, that's fine. We're saying figures above, okay, above this one, the current cell in that same line, multiply by 2, and then 360 multiplied by 2, then below the cell below the red one, multiply by 2. Then it means we have 6 numbers. Remember, I want to divide the answer by 8. So you are going to just add the 600 without multiplying this one by 2. For some, add 600, then add the 40. Then you will find that you get the same answer. Okay, let me change this one. Okay, I want to show you how we do it again on another cell. Let's say we are now on this one. Let me highlight this one in red so that you can follow. Okay, this is red. I want to get 373.5. Okay, this is the trend. How do I do this one? It's simple. The obvious answer we said is a simple one. We are going to finish, you are going to complete the totals. Okay, the total just below that, you add the 2, divide by what? By 8. But let me give you a simpler way. Okay, a simpler way, we are saying, we highlight this is the current cell that we want to complete. They put Y on this one. Then you need to move to the left to the actual cells. This is one in red. The figures above, the current cell plus this figures above, multiply by 2. Then the current cell below, the figures below, multiply by what? By 2. Then you add 360 just above 440, plus you add also, we're saying 600 just below 600, there's 80. So let's do it together. So we're going to say, let's do it, 2, 3, 4, multiply by 2, plus 440 times 2, right? So I'm saying 440 times 2. This one is also multiplied by 2. We say 600. We're saying plus. Let me look for delete. I borrowed this calculator, so it's giving me a problem. Start again. I'm saying we say 2, 2, 3, 4 times 2 plus, above this one, we're saying 440 times 2 plus, we just below this one, that below the cell, the current cell is 600, we say plus 600 times 2, but just below that, to make it 8, we just add 80, we don't apply, say plus 80, okay, you say plus 80, then just above that, above this 440, there's 360 again. 360, it's whatever you are going to get here, you divide by 8, you get the same answer. Is that clear? So I want you now to pause the video. I want you to try and calculate the figure for this cell. Okay, let me first undo this one. Let me see. All right, I want you to calculate this figure. So I'm going to remove this one. All right, so I want you to calculate this one and see if you are now mastering the idea. All right, so pause the video and see if you can get the same answer that I have, okay? You see the procedure is you get into the actual cells, you say 600 times 2 plus above 234 times 2, then you add 440 without multiplying. Then we are saying we are in this cell, multiply 80 times 2, then you add 200 without multiplying this one. You divide the answer by 8. Let's see your answer. Okay, let me undo this one. I hope you got 308.5. Okay. Can you also try to calculate all these figures? So the seasonal variation, the base, let me try to summarize the simpler way. I said you need to fill in these totals, and this total, this is a 4-point moving average. You can actually see this is a 4, this is 4. So it means we add 4 figures. For us to get this total, we are supposed to add the 4 figures, these 4 figures, okay? You get that one. About to get this total, simple again, you add the 4, maybe from that current cell, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's easy. Even if you get here, you start here, there must be 4. You can actually see 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the total. All right. Then for us to get this figure, the normal way without the shortcut, we said for you to get this one, you are going to add these 2, okay, these 2, 1074 plus 1634. You divide the answer by 8. Or we use the faster one, which says this is the current cell. You multiply this one by 2, multiply this one by 2. Below that, multiply by 2, then just add 600. Then you add also, also 40, right? Yeah, you add 40 without multiplying by 2. I hope you manage to get all these figures. Then, what is our seasonal variation? Okay, seasonal variation, we agreed that seasonal variation in simple terms, it's the regular and repeated variation that occurs in sales data within a period of 12 months. Okay. This is seasonal variation. This is a regular and repeated. Okay, regular and what? Repeated and repeated. That happens in a period of 12 months. Okay, so how do we do this one? It's simple. Let me show you how I calculate this one. You just take the actual sales, you subtract it from the trend. Okay, so we are going to say this one is simple. We are going to say our actual sales minus our trend. Okay, let's do it together. Get this figure. Let me highlight it in red. This figure is simple to get. We are going to say 4, 4. Okay, let me see. We say 440 minus 338.5. This is 101.5. So this is simple. That's how we get the seasonal variation. Okay, I think it's very clear to everyone. Okay, let's see how you get this one again. It's simple. We get our actual sales minus our moving average. Is that clear? All right. Let's see how we get the average seasonal variation. Average seasonal variation. Okay. This one is simple. I think you can picture from my calculations. I added all, we are saying we are in Q3, right? Remember, we are in Q3. So what I did is I added the seasonal, the regular and the repeated variation that occurs in 12 months for Q3. So in this case, I will take 101.5. Then I will look for Q3 again, seasonal variation. It's minus 166.75. I add this one again. There's something below this one. I think there were 3. That's why I divided by 3. There is minus 99 there. Then what I got, I divide by 3. Okay, let's see, maybe for 1, it's easier. For 1, average seasonal variation, let me get to this one. It means this one is for Q4. Let me look for the one for Q1. This is our quarter 1. Let's see how we get 26. It is simple to get 26. We are going to add all the seasonal variation for Q1 or quarter 1. This is the first one, 291.5 plus 230.5 plus the one below there. This is minus 443.75. We divide the answer by 3. I think that's how we get these ones. So I think you can try, and you can actually see maybe from here that we have got quarter 3. This one is the same. This is average seasonal variation. We're trying to smoothen the variation. So we are saying this is minus 54.8. You can actually see in Q3 is the same. Then for Q4, you can actually see it's minus 183.3. And you can actually see it's the same here, minus 182.3. I hope I was loud and clear. Please, can you try to get all these figures? If there's any challenge, you can contact me, and then I can assist you. This is A-level business studies, and our topic is moving averages. So don't lose these simple marks. But what I want you to do is to learn how to do what you call extrapolation, to construct a graph. Okay, they might want you to construct a graph. So you construct your graph, the trend against time. Okay, time series analysis. This is the trend against the trend against the time. So these are the figures that you'll be putting. Okay, these are the figures that you'll be putting on your graph. Okay, I think this is what you need to do on your graph. So we draw the moving average graph. After we are done with that, we do what we call extrapolation. Okay. Our extrapolation is simple. It means we extend the graph. After extending the graph, we come up with what we call a forecast trend. Okay. You get what you call your forecast trend for, let's say, for a given quarter, which is in the future. Okay. Let's say you get a forecast trend for Q4. All right. So we're saying, okay, the actual forecast is equal to um, the extrapolated extrapolated trend forecast plus average, let me just shorten, seasonal variation. So we are saying if you then want to forecast, okay, these let's say the actual forecast for Q4, we say we extrapolate. Okay. Remember, when we are saying we are extrapolating, we are going to use our trend. Okay. So we are going to use our trend, and this is our trend. Okay. This is our trend. But we want to forecast for this year, we want to forecast what do you call it? The sales figure. The sales figure for Q4. All right. So we extend the trend, extend it Q3, then we get into Q4. All right. Then we get, what do we get in this one? We get what we call a forecast trend. This is our forecast, extrapolated forecast trend. Then we add Q4, see average seasonal variation. So in this case, let's say we had for our forecast, in this case, let's say actual, in this case, I will say my forecast in this case, let's say we had forecasted that it was going to be, after extending that, let's say 700, we say 700, we're going to say plus our average seasonal variation. In this case, we are going to add plus minus, let's say this is Q4. Okay, want to extrapolate for Q4. So we are going to say plus minus, then we say minus, minus what? Let's say just plus minus 182.3. This is how we get the actual forecast. We say the extrapolated trend forecast plus the average seasonal variation. Then we can predict our future sales. Okay. I think this one, let me say, we're indicating we're doing it for Q4. This is our Q4 forecast. Let me indicate Q4 extrapolated forecast was 700. Was 700. Let me put it in brackets so that I don't confuse you. Okay. It was 700. Then we add the average seasonal variation, which was a minus 183. Then it means our final answer is very simple in this case. We say 700 minus 182.3. Then our answer becomes, let me see, becomes 517.7, like this one. This is our actual forecast sales for Q3. Okay, for Q3 we are referring to for Q4 in this one. So this is our actual forecast in this case. So actual forecast in this for this period will be equal to 517.7. So we have made a forecast now after factoring in the average seasonal variation. This is Sir Jef. Thank you for listening. I hope you contact me for further information. Remember to subscribe to Accounting and Sir Jef. Bye-bye for now.